Good morning and welcome to Carolina Cares, an iHeartMedia production. My name is Tyler Ryan. Excited this morning, an old friend, but a fantastic musician joining us this morning. Going to play a tune or two and talk about the music business. If you're thinking, hey, I want to go be a rock and roll star or a country star or whatever, there are some cold hard truths and changes that we're going to learn about today on Carolina Cares. We'll get the music flowing in just a couple of seconds. Stay close.
Okay, men, time to be an all-star caregiver. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments, be there emotionally and physically. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find care guides at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Good morning and welcome back to Carolina Cares. We're leading up to Christmas, so a little change of pace this morning for Carolina Cares. I thought maybe some live music might be fun this morning, but live music with maybe a little education. Yeah, this morning we're joined by Jay Edwards. Straight from Nashville, but really from here, right?
Yeah.
And you're something of a musician.
Something of it, yeah.
Yeah, my goodness. You know, boy, music is something that everybody loves. It's in your soul. You know, sometimes, in like your case, it's in your fingertips. You play it. But it is the ultimate dream, isn't it, to play music, to be man, we got to start a band.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
Sure, man. Yeah.
What's been your journry? You started here. You're from the Midlands.
Not originally.
Not originally. I've known you for a long time, and you've been from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been from here over 20-something years.
Okay.
Originally from Arkansas and right on the state line of Louisiana, and family on both sides. And I usually joke and say I get to claim both states, but I ended up in South Carolina 20-something years ago, and kind of had a change of lifestyle and started playing some old honky tonks and blues bars and back years and years ago, and Sandra's Corner Pocket and stuff like that. Man, I just kept on doing it. Finally, just moved to Nashville about 7 years. We're in our 7th year living there.
Right.
But I get back every so often. Came back for Christmas a little bit.
Glad you're back joining us, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk a little bit about the realities of the life of music, and you know, we're certainly, I want you to play a little bit and have some fun and catch up with an old friend, but I want to maybe just kind of put that out there. What's the reality? We all have that dream, that glamorous, hey man, Bon Jovi, he lives a life, right? There's only one John Bon Jovi, there's only one Carrie Underwood.
That's right.
What's the reality of being a struggling artist in Nashville or Atlanta, wherever the heck you are?
I think that's it. That is the reality. It's either a struggling artist or you've got somebody that's got some money behind. And I don't mean to sound negative, and I try to be positive, and I guess I got to be positive.
Right.
I'm 50 years old. I'm still out here trying to be a rock star, you know. But you know, it's I think the thing we didn't have in back 30, 40 years ago was we didn't have a lot of artists coming in that had a bankroll, and they were just you know, had all the money that they needed. Nowadays, you know, people are showing up at 14, 15 years old and ready to be this pop star of some sort, or claim their 15 minutes of fame, and they've got a mom and daddy's backing them. And again, that's not trying to be negative. It's just one way to get there.
Right. I mean, back in the old days, the whole route was pretty traditional. It was you went somewhere, you got discovered,
right,
and you got signed to a record deal,
yeah,
and they would put, you know, RCA or Columbia, whatever record label it was, and they'd back you and they'd pay you and they believed in you.
Exactly.
Now it's almost like a promotional machine using money.
Right, and there is no discover. I mean, we've turned that over to our reality shows and The Voice,
sure,
and American Idol and America's Got Talent and all those little shows like that. Now we got Real Country in Nashville, and there's a new show, and so we've got that for, I guess, the discovery part. But nobody's breaking new artists. That's not even heard of anymore. Well, most people right now in the business are just kicking their feet up on the desk and waiting for the phone to ring for, you know, the next whatever big amount of money they got coming in.
Sure, and you know, what about the whole impact of social media, digital content? You can, again, it used to be that you'd have to pay for a studio time. Now you just get yourself a laptop at Best Buy and a microphone, and you're a rock star.
Right, and it's made it so easy, it's made it so easy for us that we've become lazy with it. We've got social media. You can get to a level real quick, and right off the bat, and you can buy likes or There's so many people out there that you're associated with, and you can, within a few months or so, you can have a ton of followers and fans. And
if you're good, I mean, you still have to have talent. Maybe not. Maybe not, Jay Edwards.
Yeah. There's a saying going right now that talent doesn't matter, and I really hate that, but it's it's going around in the music business that talent really doesn't matter, and and I guess that is more of a negative statement than I'd like to make. I think it does still matter. And again, that's me being positive, because I'm trying to keep this thing going, and hopefully that I do have enough talent that'll win out over me being too old to be some new pop star, and so it kind of is what it is, but but it, on the other side, at least I get to play music for a living, and even if it is for pennies, on the dollar, but at least.
But you're playing your passion, and I think that's the important takeaway for someone listening who wants to follow that dream of music. Right. And for the longevity, I mean, yes, and we have the hope that things are going to get better, and we're going to get paid more for this or that, and it is a journey, and it's something that you have to be dedicated to, and something you want to do and do for the rest of your life. I've been doing music all my life. I grew up in the church singing, and man, I just. I can't. I've roofed houses. I don't want to go back to roofing houses. I can tell you right now. Not in South Carolina in July. I can promise you that. Or Arkansas. Good Lord, 140 degrees on the top of a roof, and it just. I don't want to do that. Right. So this is what I do, and I'm glad to be doing. I've made little achievements, and I think it's great. I wish I was at this level. I kind of wish I was at a little bit larger level, and at this time in my life, I wish I was playing to a few bigger crowds and stuff like that. Right, you never know. Kenny Chesney may give you the call. You never know. Talking with Jay Edwards, Nashville musician here in town for the weekend, but really just kind of talking about maybe some eye-opening facts of the music business to some young folks, or maybe not young. Maybe you're 48 like Jay Edwards here, 41 or whatever. 50. How about 50? 50. I was trying to be nice. It's Christmas time. It was a gift to you. But the pitfalls. What are the changes, the impact? And we talked briefly about digital media and the way you can become a superstar overnight, a YouTube star, which still I don't understand. A YouTube star, right? I mean, and so this will sound negative, but the record labels are they bring in. They say, oh well, let's see, you just have 500 people on your YouTube subscribing to you on YouTube. So you need 1,000, or you need 15, or this particular video needs 100,000 views. And so that's what you do. You run out there with the rest of the little lemmings, and you run out there and you get people, hey, like my video, like my video, like my video. And they do, and you get 100,000, and you walk back into the same office that the guy that told you to do that, and you say, look, I did it. I got 100,000 views on this video. And he said, yeah, but that's just YouTube success. And you're like, no, you just changed the game on me. What now? And so, it makes it more and more accessible, but it also makes it easier and faster for people to just throw music out there. I mean, I work with loops and things like that every day, and in my home studio on building my demos, but there are people that it's just so easy. Let's grab this drum groove, boom. Hey, you know what? You can go to this website and it'll give you all these little bass licks. You can put bass licks in here, boom, boom, boom. So the art of music itself is it's almost like the art of communication with text messages that we don't know how to have a face-to-face conversation. Exactly. But the actual art of music seems to me, as not a musician but a music lover, that it's being lost for automated tracks that were just becoming robotic, just like everything else, it would seem. Right. There's an app. You want to be a rock star? There's an app for that. Yeah, basically, yeah. They're just sign up here. There it is. And download that, and you're, boom, there you are. You're a rock star. You were talking about in Discovery as well, and I think it's going to be very eye-opening this morning, but you talk about Discovery. in the day when you had to have a cassette or maybe a record, but you always had a side B on a record even.
Right.
But even if I bought your record because I bought the single of Wanted Dead or Alive, or I bought Slippery When Wet in 1986 because I love Wanted, I was exposed to 9 other songs from the same artist, and maybe not all of them are going to be hits, but there were some songs, my favorite artists that have never been on the radio, but they're my favorite songs. Now, if I like that one song from Jay Edwards, I download that, I'll never hear another song from you, right?
Well, I'll agree to that, and there are a lot of people and young people that are doing that. But I still believe that that some of these platforms like Spotify and others that bring the music out there, it actually gives people an opportunity to look at the B-side where they normally wouldn't have that.
Okay.
Let's say a radio station played the old 45s and you listen to one, you never knew what that B-side was, and sometimes that was lost until you actually went in the record store, and back then you could say, hey man, can you play this B-side? And they're like, yeah, well, let's listen. And then, you came out with CD listening stations, and now Spotify, that's our old record store. You just walk in and you say, hey, I like this song I heard the other day.
Right.
And there's Jay Edwards. Well, what is this other song that he's got over here? Oh, he's got a whole list of stuff. And so it can be
kind of the same.
It can be the same, and it can be good for an artist. Right now, every time I get 2 or 3 streams on Spotify, I'm selling a CD. I sell a full CD. Now, when you get to be Taylor Swift and you don't release a record and you only make $400 million in 1 year, and you can have a beef with Spotify about that. But I'm sorry, Taylor. But
it's the reality.
It's just a lot faster paced, and we can become lazy. Mm-hmm. I think that one of my pet peeves right now is that there's the live show. We're just completely losing the live show.
Right.
And nobody's going back and doing grassroots concerts. Let me say, not nobody. I have a few friends, and I'm trying to revive that myself.
Sure.
We go to places. I went to Boston. I've been to Boston twice this year, and my last time in Boston, I played in a barber shop.
Wow.
No lie. And we had like 75 people that paid good money to come in. And
like a pop-up rock concert kind of thing.
And it's called, I got to give a shout out, it's called the Razors Concert Series, Razors Barbershop Concert Series, and it's Fresh Cuts Concert Series. There we go. And
that's cool.
My friend Anthony owns the barbershop up there, and he came to Nashville, found me, and we started chatting. Cool. And next thing you know, he said, hey man, come in Boston. I went up there and played 4 or 5 places, and turned around, came home to Nashville, and went back to Boston, took my wife, and we played in the barbershop. But it was so much like the old grassroots concerts. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And nobody's promoting those, so our venues are losing there's no promoters anymore.
Sure.
It's just a venue and an artist who wants to play. So I've done it here. I've come back to South Carolina during the summer and played out at one of the marinas, and packing my stuff up and going home and running to somebody, and they said, hey, Jay.
Right.
When are you going to play here again, man? It's like,
I was just right here.
I just did. What? So, man, we got the world at our fingertips with social media, but we're still not reaching people.
Right. So. Talking with Jay Edwards, a musician, South Carolina musician by way of Arkansas, up in Nashville, Tennessee. So just got talking about some of the pitfalls. I think a good learning lesson today for musicians who make it big. You aren't all going to be Taylor Swift. That's the way it is. We're going to take a quick break on Carolina Cares. You're going to play a tune for us.
Yeah, man.
And then I want to hear about this cool new concept that you're putting together for artists up in Twangtown, trying to get back to that grassroots, something special you're doing for young artists that we definitely got to talk about. We'll do that here coming up in just a couple of minutes on Carolina Cares. We will be right back.
Okay, men, time to be an all-star caregiver. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Be there emotionally and physically. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find care guides at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesmaned the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Carolina Cares, a special holiday version. Live music in the studio, great stuff talking about the reality, the pitfalls, and some tips on becoming an artist, wanting to be an artist, passionate about music, but the reality of becoming a rock star. Jay Edwards is here. We're going to get back into a really cool program that you're putting together for new artists. But I know you got your guitar, and it's early on the weekend. I'd love to hear you play a tune, if you would, sir.
Yes, sir. I sure will. Well, let me tell you this. I started going back and forth to Nashville in 2009, living right up here in Irmo. And so I mean, really going back and forth. I was taking 2 weeks there and 2 weeks here, and my wife said, you got to get a place. And so we still travel. I now live up there and have a Tennessee driver's license, but she still has a South Carolina driver's license, so she drives back and forth more than I do. But I wrote this song just a couple of years ago. It's going to be the big one on the new album, the next single release, and it's called Another Cold Shoulder. So. If I leave tonight for Tennessee, it's the last time she'll see me. This hurt and broken. If I say goodbye to Caroline, keep this truck between the lines, I'll be there by morning. If I set my mind at 75, I don't think of her or count the miles. If I can just keep going, tell myself I'll be alright when I see that Stewart's Ferry sign. It's a lie, and I know it, but I keep thinking about us and the way I used to hold her. I don't want to pull over to another cold shoulder. I topped off that Chevrolet with heartache and high octane, and that's all it's holding. I could have stayed around a while, pulled her close to make her smile, but that don't happen very often. I hug these curves near Gatlinburg like I know every inch of her. I traced it when she was sleeping. If I get too tired to stay away, I won't stop or take a break, 'cause something else keeps calling. I can't stop thinking about us and the way I used to hold her. I don't want to pull over to another cold shoulder. I don't want to pull over to another cold shoulder. I don't want to pull over to another cold shoulder. I don't want to pull over to another cold shoulder. Before I left, I should have told her how much I still want her. I can't stop thinking about us and the way I used to hold her. I don't wanna pull over to another cold shoulder. I don't wanna pull over to another cold shoulder. If I can just keep going, I'll be there by morning.
Wow. Jay Edwards. Good morning to you. Oh, my goodness gracious. Man, that's a great song, man. That is a great song. So listen, let's talk a little bit about this new initiative that you're putting together in Nashville, really geared towards, and I say younger, I guess because not always they can be younger artists, but
Right.
new artists. Put it that way, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, because we were talking earlier about, you know, up and down Broadway. You've got the Broadway 5000, and let me say this. You know, we have a lot of great talent in Columbia. You know, and you hear things, but man, you walk up and down Broadway, Nashville, Tennessee, and every single bar has got Kenny Chesney in it. I mean, there is talent. It's pouring, and you're like, oh my, why is this guy not signed? Why is this guy not signed?
Right, it is, and then there's so much of a demand for artists and people, singers. Let me just say that singers to play on Broadway,
Right.
Because they need, and it's. I mean, we're talking about some 10 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock at night, or 2 o'clock in the morning, and so we're rolling around and they're shoving people up there as fast as they can.
Sure.
And so it is sometimes people show up and say, "Hey, I can sing." And they're like, "Good, get up there and sing now." And
Don't worry about the screen test. Just go, man.
Just can
got
you
your
play?
guitar? Come on.
Do you know these 40 songs? Yes. Okay, we'll get up there. And I've got great friends that are down there, and some of them are making a very, very good living by doing the same things that they could, the same songs that they would do if they were here in Columbia or
Right.
any other bar across the United States or the world for that matter. But what I did, and I told you this earlier, this is so weird because, and it might be a little facetious of me, because I don't have a major record deal. I don't have a
Right.
major publishing deal. I've had plenty of independent cuts and cutting my own records, but without that, I told them, I said, I just got old and mean. And I got mean and said, I don't want to do that, and got old, and they finally said, okay, he's old, let him do that. And I just started playing, when they asked me to play on Broadway, I just started playing my original stuff.
Right.
And, I wrote my first song when I was 10 years old, Christian and gospel music, but I've had hooks and things like that in my head for my whole life.
Right.
And so I just started writing, doing my original stuff. We put a speaker out by the door, and so if you come down on a Sunday from 11 to 3, if you're anywhere close to 2nd Avenue and Broadway, you're going to hear me pushing out there. And we're having folks come in from all of the states and saying, man, I've been here for 8 days, haven't heard the first original song yet. It's every 10 steps, it's Wagon Wheel and Don't
Right.
Stop Believing. I love those songs, but, good
You're right.
gracious.
The originality is not there. They're all because people want to hear the hits, my version of it.
Right.
But that's kind of what you've put together a little coalition for. I said that word right. For new artists.
Right. We call it
push it.
Nashville Uncovered, and again, it's not just for new artists, because I do a lot of screening. You don't just jump off the bus yesterday and say, "Ooh, I'm here to play," and I'm gonna let you get up. That's been done too many times, and not enough people are going, and they're trying to become this huge hit all of a sudden, and they're not taking the time to be to work their craft. And this is an art. This is a craft. This is something you do, just like woodworking or anything else. You need to hone this thing and strengthen your strengths and build up your where your problems are. And so we call it Nashville Uncovered, and I just decided anytime I'm going to be in Nashville playing downtown, that we're going to call it Nashville Uncovered, and it's going to be all original.
Right.
Well, that kind of swept out to everything else I was doing. So now I'm in South Carolina. I haven't played, except for a Christmas party. I jumped up and sang a cover tune with some friends of mine this week, but I haven't sang cover tunes in 2 or 3 years for sure.
Right.
And so when I'm playing here in South Carolina, it's all original music because this is what I do. I write songs and I sing those songs.
Do you think it's important for a new artist to? I mean, obviously you've got to know the covers. That's probably where you cut your teeth playing
Sure.
a lot of them. But where and how and what are the pitfalls, I guess, of an artist trying to start throwing the new things? Because that happens. People are like, what song is that? Play Wagon Wheel!
Oh, yeah.
Freebird!
Now, you're right. But, I mean, we have the advantage because in Nashville, people come to town looking for original music and new music. I mean, that's basically our motif or whatever. The words we're putting out there is it all begins with a song. So it's all when people come to town looking for the new thing.
Right.
They've heard the stuff on the radio. This is not to knock the radio. I love the radio. But it's people are coming to Nashville, to see the new thing and find that. And we're just giving them the same thing. They could have stayed home in Wisconsin and heard their cousin's band play, at their local honky tonk. So it's I think you have to have a knowledge of some of the songs and stuff. And I'm not saying you got to be a songwriter, but I'm wishing that more people would take the opportunity and especially the musicians coming to Nashville and working in Nashville right now would take more of the opportunity and not go because the venue owner says, hey, we got to have these drunks in here till 2:00 and they're screaming Wagon Wheel, so play Wagon Wheel,
Right.
Well, let's get beyond that. I did it the other day. I went into a place, they called me at the last minute and said, can you come across the street and play from 10 to 1:30 in the morning? And I said, I'm not going to do any covers. And they're like, well, man, I said, all right, let's see what happens. And my friend of mine, Josh Waters, and I walked in, and for 3.5 hours, we sat there, and they were getting ready to close, and we still had a good crowd saying, come on, play some more.
Right.
Played all original stuff. And again, not blowing me up, but it's
Sure.
possible. I'm just saying it is possible.
It's a hard now, and that's not. We're talking about Nashville. That's where you are, but that's pretty much. I'm going to have to guess any music city, any music venue where they're known. The Atlantas, the obviously New York and Los Angeles, places that are known for, Austin.
Right.
Live music of any genre.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the same
Well, how did
thing.
Austin get to where they were? How did Austin get to that place, and why is Nashville not there? Well, it's because it became a mecca for people going and trying their new music for places, and I just think that we've got to, if that's what we're going to proclaim is in Nashville, if that's what we're going to proclaim is what we do, is we write songs and we bring new songs into the masses, then that we ought to do that.
Jay Edwards, I got to stop you right there, brother. We are out of town. We could talk music all day long.
All day long.
Great stuff. Very insightful. Just kind of an insider look at the music business, the changes, kind of what to get ready for it. If you don't have Taylor Swift's daddy's money, then that's gonna be a hard thing. Of course, Taylor now has made it herself for sure.
Sure.
But anyway,
I'll give her that.
Jay Edwards, I'll put links for you guys up at WVOC, the Carolina Cares tab right there to learn more about Jay, and he's a great resource if you're thinking about a career in music. Reach out to him in Nashville. Just a great resource, all about music as well. So we'll get all the details out there. Jay, thank you so much. Have a safe trip back to town. Merry Christmas to you, my friends.
Thank you, man. It's good to be back with you, brother.
Carolina Cares, we'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesmaned the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Carolina Cares. Wow, Great stuff with Jay Edwards. How about that voice? It's like a Bob Seger voice, isn't it? Put links for you up at the WVOC, the Carolina Cares tab. If you want to learn more about Jay, again, he's a great resource, very knowledgeable. He'll give you the cold, hard truth, and that's what he's trying to do with a group in Nashville, Tennessee. Details up there. My name is Tyler Ryan on Carolina Cares, an iHeart Media production. Have a fantastic holiday with family and friends. I'll talk to you in 7 days.